I think you guys need to have those rules. I mean, because it sounds like, I mean, you guys have grown into you've the fastest growing and the leader in the trader funding space with this type of model. And I would imagine, I mean, as you guys have scaled, people have come out of the woodwork to try to game the system
Yeah.
instead of really learning how to trade and the value of the rules. I mean, the rules are designed to teach you how to trade in a disciplined manner. I mean, that's what I see. I mean, what's been the biggest surprise for you as you've scaled up the business?
It would be exactly what you just said. The people that come in and try to figure out okay, what are the rules? Now, how can I come up with a plan to work these rules? So that way I can, you know,
Game the system
so
or
I can game the
scam it
system. So I
or
can risk 30% here and then load up over here and then load up over here. We'll see them roll accounts and just keep taking the bigger and bigger drawdown. There's stuff like that. And it's just like, guys, just trade like a common sense trader.
well, just trade like a real trader.
Yeah, a real
Because you
trader.
can't,
Yeah,
in real money, you're not going to game the system.
exactly.
You're not going to be able to game the system. The system, uh, a lot of people think it's rigged and designed to game you, which is not true either.
Right.
But I mean, to me, it appears those rules are in place to help people really become disciplined traders. These are real life rules that, especially when you're first beginning, it may seem overwhelming. I would imagine
Right.
if you're a newer trader, the whole idea of a funded account. I mean, it's in general, it's in the world of trading in the world of online trading, the life of electronic trading, which has been around since like the late 90s. This is still pretty new.
Right.
And there's a lot of new traders all the time. This can be overwhelming, but these are really here for a reason. And if you really want to be a real world trader, not a scammer or someone trying to game something, that's why I see these rules in place. I mean, has that been the biggest surprise for you? How people are trying to game it instead of really
It really
seeing
has,
it?
like, because it didn't happen to begin with. Like the first year and a half or so, we really didn't have the problems. And then
Hmm.
about 2 years in, like we just noticed all of a sudden, like YouTubers coming out and saying, "Here's how you game the system."
Yeah.
And then all of a
I
sudden,
mean,
we got this explosion of people gaming the system. And we had these rules in place, but we hadn't really been enforcing them. It was so few that it wasn't worth it, and we didn't have it all automated. But it got
right.
really big, and we had to basically enforce the rules that we already had. And then we also simplified them. We got rid of some of the rules and made like the 30% rule, you know, uh,
Right.
like 30% on a single trade. If anybody has a problem with that, they're not a real trader, you know.
Yeah, that's not a good rule for a disciplined trader. You're gonna beat yourself up really bad. You're gonna blow yourself up, and then you're gonna beat yourself up. So I
And
think you give people
well, not only are we trying to
plenty of
help,
room to hang themselves if
that,
need be.
exactly. And not only are we trying to make good traders, but also we got to protect the company from people who would try to work the system and do things they wouldn't do with a live account. Because if we don't protect the
Wow.
company, then we're not there to pay the legitimate traders out. And that's why a lot of companies go out of business. Like we saw companies come out and they're like, "Oh, Apex has all these rules. We don't have any of them." And literally 60 days later, they're out of business
Yeah.
because people are like, "Oh, great. Well, I can come game the crap out of you." You know? And then
I
they're
think
like,
I've seen these firms show up. I mean, they're only showing up because you guys are the leaders, and they're literally gaming your company and trying to make it look like, oh, it's a lot easier. Come over here. They're
yeah,
coming after you specifically, not just as
yeah.
people trying to game your system, but funding companies trying to game your business even. So,
Oh, yeah. We just had this big event in Vegas, and there's like 600 traders there. And there were other companies trying to take our affiliates and our traders. And I mean, we're talking about people we paid out millions of dollars to. And I'm talking about traders that we paid millions of dollars to. And they're like, "No, I don't trust you. I don't trust you're going to be in business in 6 months. Like you don't have good rules. You don't manage what people are doing. And Apex has been around and proven that they pay.
I mean,
and
it's an interesting lesson in business overall. If you're, I've experienced the same thing even in my computer business. If you're successful, people come after you. They're jealous. They want to copy you. They want to badmouth you. They want to game your system. They want to pretend to be you. I
yeah.
had that happen with me. I
We had
think
an
that's
Apex
happened to
Trader
you.
Funding dot whatever, and
Oh my goodness.
um, it was a
Dot
bit
org.
yeah, it
Somebody
was like a
copied.
Bitcoin company,
Oh my
and
god.
Discover shut our merchant account down because they thought we were like doing Bitcoin stuff, and it's like that's not even our company. We had to go back and fight with them over that, but I mean, yeah, we've had people they fake my name on Discord all the time.
Hmm.
I don't reach out and market on Discord and Facebook. So if somebody ever
Okay.
sends you a message from Darrell Martin, it's not me. So, but
That's incredible. I've heard that from other people who teach trading that there's been imposters.
oh yeah,
It is hard to get good reviews on Trustpilot. I will tell you. You get trolls even on Trustpilot.
oh my gosh, we have people come on there and say fake things all the time. I actually used to spend every day fighting fake reviews, and because I mean we would have competitors, and I could tell they were competitors by what they were saying. It would
Hmm.
be the same person every day posting, and I just said, you know what, we get enough people that like us. I'm just going to let the majority speak for itself. So, what do you got? I know you had some good questions for me. And
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, you guys have grown from like the originator of this model to almost creating a brand new version of this industry. To as we discussed, you guys have grown so fast. You've had not only traders come out of the woodwork trying to game your system, you've had people start companies trying to game what you're doing and copy what you guys are doing. And so, I mean, uh, you've been through a lot. I mean, I'm just trying to understand that, most traders can't possibly understand what goes on behind the scenes when you grow that fast.
oh yeah, I mean, especially the
What
last year,
what gets
people were
harder
talking
for you as you scale? What gets harder for you?
Well, what was getting harder was managing all of the scammers trying to game the system. That's getting easier now that we're automating everything with AI. So it goes through and analyzes, was there 30% drawdown? Was there this? Was there this? I mean, when you're monitoring 100,000 accounts,
Wow.
like that's, live funded accounts, um, where they get live, meaning they can get paid out. That's a lot to monitor, you know? And so doing that manually is
Yeah,
pretty much impossible.
I don't
So,
think it's possible.
so now that we're getting automation on that, and I love that we're notifying people, in most cases, like the next day, because it used to be what happened was because we were doing it manually. I mean, we had a team of like 20 people, and they were going through every single account and looking to see if they broke a rule, and then saying, okay, payment denied or payment approved. Okay. Well, now they find out the next day, they know right away, hey, you've already violated this. You got to trade for 10 more days. Don't violate it again. So we let them know instead of after they've requested, because that's where a lot of the negativity came from, is they only found out after they requested a payout. Well, that's because we couldn't go monitor 100,000 accounts every day manually.
Okay.
So
All
now
right.
we can
Yeah,
monitor those
because
automatically, and we can give them, faster notice, and they can, because I would say half the people at least, if not more, do it on accident. They're newer, they don't know, or they just weren't quite paying attention. There's probably even more, probably more like 80%. They're just breaking, like a rule on accident. You know, so by letting them know like right away, they can fix it and they can get
right.
better faster and get paid out faster. So, but handling that has been huge. There's a
So
hundred.
that you really had to adapt what you guys were doing to
Yeah,
let people know because I mean that's what I hear. That's what I've heard the most from traders about Apex is that the rules feel stricter. But it sounds like just being able for you guys to monitor everybody all in this, at the same time.
right. And tell them up front versus them finding out after they've requested. Because once you request
Right.
money, you're expecting to get paid. That's why you're doing this. And then all of a sudden you find out you can't, and you're like, well, why didn't you tell me that like 10 days ago?
Right.
And it's
Right.
like, well, because we
Yeah.
couldn't, but so we have like 20 programmers now, and they're always programming. We have a whole new backend that just got released on a dashboard. We have new stuff coming out.